Have you ever heard of the term adaptability quotient before, or intelligent quotient? Whatever quotient it is, this conversation is really centered around building confidence and resilience, because a lot of people are not adaptable to change. They are not adaptable to challenges. So when situation comes their way, they are not able to keep up, right? They are not able to solve problems. They are not able to have this heavy sense of pride that can lead them from where they are right now to the next level. And that's why we're still going to continue on the work of Dr. Varma. Yes, in the last video, I shared with you 2 practical P's, yes, that she shared in her work on how you can become very optimistic about life, on how you can become very confident, nurture the right relationship, cultivate the right mindset and habits that can take you from where you are right now to the next level. Hello friends, if this is your first time listening to me, welcome on board. Welcome to the show, friends. My name is Faye Michael. I want to celebrate you. Thank you for being a part of my community. Thank you for stopping by. Do well to connect, do well to subscribe so that you can keep getting updates on how you can optimize, take your personal transformation to the next level. In today's conversation, we're still looking at the work of Dr. Varma on practical optimism, the art, science, and practice of exceptional well-being. So you don't just want to have the art and the science of practical well-being, you want to be able to practice as well. And that's why there are methodologies, there are step-by-step processes that the author has been able to itemize that you can follow through. In the last conversation, I shared with you that in this very book, the author has been able to give us 8 different roadmaps. Yes, that is about 8 different P's for us to be able to become very practical in our optimistic approach to life. And then the first P, I spoke about finding purpose. The second P, we spoke about processing your emotions. And in this third P, I'm going to be sharing the third and fourth P in this video. In my subsequent videos, I'll continue from this very part. So the third P here, the author says that it is very vital. It is important that as an individual, you take yourself from where you are right now to the next level and begin to solve problems. Yes, a lot of people today are not able to solve problems. Not because they don't want to, not because they don't want to move from where they are to the next level, not because they don't want to bring solutions to the earth realm. It is really because they have issues with their emotions and regulations, as itemized by the author. There's an issue with emotional regulation. So the author said that there has to be a connecting line if you want to be able to solve problems between your emotional regulations and your self-reassessment, all right? Your reassessment of you, your reassessment of situations. Do you understand that there has to be this connecting line? Otherwise, you will not be able to move from here to the next level. And in this very compartment of the conversation, for becoming very optimistic and confident to tackle life challenges, the author has been able to give us about 5 different ways to do this. All right, how do you begin to build emotional regulations as well as assessment, rationality of assessment of situations, so that you are finally able to move from where you are to the next level? The first thing the author says you should begin to do if you want to be able to solve problems adequately. Maybe you are a thought leader like me, you are a coach, you're finding it difficult to really come up with solution blueprint. The author says that you have to be able to reassess your current situation, reassess your current positioning. Who are you at your core? What are you in for? All right, what are you in to actualize or to gain at the end of the day? Where are you coming from? This level of reassessment, I believe, will really build you, bring you into the realm of awareness of yourself. All right, recently I was trying to check out for something, and I found something that I have been looking for the longest of time. I found it sitting down somewhere. I was like, oh my God, this is how it is in life. Somebody have been there before, but they never found it. Yes, somebody have been there before, but they never found it because they were not looking for it. So whatever you are looking for, if you stay diligently, you will definitely find it. So friends, it is time to reassess. The author says once you're able to reassess, the next thing you look out for is to refuel. By refueling, it means that you are ready to re-energize yourself. You're ready to sleep well, eat well, exercise well, meditate well, and do all the things you know how to do best so that you can build your emotional regulations. I have noticed this so well in my personal life, because many a times for you to be able to make proper decisions going forward, it is important that you look at your emotional state, right? But if you don't continue to reassess, reevaluate, you will not know where you are. So reassessment is necessary. Then once you reassess and you know where you are, begin to refuel. If you need to sleep well, if you need to eat well, if you need to talk well, if you need to not visit certain places, this is the time to look out for that. Then the third point is that you have to request input. This is how you get to reach out to people to help you out. That's how you build balance in your life. No man is an island, right? Nobody knows it all. Nobody has gotten it all together. You have to be able to request input on the path of problem solving, Reach out to people who are before you, who are after you, who are at your level. All right, let them also share their input with you. The fourth point is that you have to be able to remind yourself of your confident level right now through the amount of skills, the amount of learning, knowledge that you've been able to accumulate over the years, over the months. You have to be able to remind yourself of your abilities. Yes, remind yourself, yes, I want to solve this problem. What abilities do I have? David wanted to kill Goliath, wanted to pull down Goliath because Goliath was terrorizing the children of Israel at that time. He needed to reassess. He first of all had to ask the question of, who is this uncircumcised Philistine? And once he did that, he went backward, pick up the stone. That was a moment of refueling, right? Pick up the stones, and then he was able, to put the Goliath down. Reminding yourself of your abilities and your skills is pretty amazing. It is important. And the last point there, the last arrow, the author says that you have to be able to reappraise. This is a situation where you get to reframe the situation for a more positive approach, for a more positive light. I hope you understand what I'm saying right now. We're solving problems. We want to be able to solve problems in our world. This is how we face adversity. This is how we face challenges. All right? We reassess, we refuel, we request input, we remind ourselves, and we reappraise. Then the next P I want to talk about is healthy pride. The author says that you must be able to have a healthy pride. I love this part because this is where you remind yourself or you recognize your inherent capabilities, your self-worth. This is where you do the work, right? Having a healthy sense of pride. It is about practical optimism. You want to be able to remain optimistic. Remind yourself of your ability. Begin to recognize that you have self-worth, that you are someone with so much capacity. You have strength. No matter your imperfections, friends, it is important that you also begin to practice self-compassion along the way. Yes, a lot of times people look at their strength, but they really do not focus on their strength. They focus more on their weaknesses, right? They focus more on their weaknesses because they feel that those things are the deciding factors for them moving forward. Having a healthy sense of pride means that there is a balance between knowing your strength and at the same time understanding that you have imperfections. But in all of those imperfections, you must begin to have what we call self-compassion. You must practice it, all right? I call it compassionate accountability. You must practice it. And how do you practice it? I told you guys that this book is dense. The author has also given us a 4-step framework to help us to begin to practice self-compassion. The first one is that you have to observe. Observation is key. I think all of these roadmaps, one major thing I love about them is the place of reflection. It is really an introspective experience. The author says you have to be able to observe, knowing your feelings without being critical. In our last conversation where we were assessing our emotions, I told you all that you have to be able to process your emotions in a way that you are able to label them. I call it the labeling effect. So this time around, in practicing self-compassion, you have to observe. Who are you? Know your feelings. Why are you feeling that way? The next thing is that you have to begin to contextualize. This is where you step backward to begin to see what is going on around you. What is influencing you? These are the triggers. What is influencing you? And then the next thing you do is you normalize. Yes, understanding fully well that that's who you are. You are a human being. You're not a robot. You're bound to make mistakes. You got to normalize. And then the last thing that you have to do when it comes to practicing self-compassion is that you must act. Step backward. Look at all of these different compartments. Have a deep plan of accountability. Come up with it, so that you don't immobilize yourself with continuous guilt, with continuous shame, because you feel you are not perfect. So friends, this is it. I don't want this to go beyond the 10 minutes mark. It's been amazing looking at problem solving and a healthy sense of pride when it comes to practical optimism. These are the 2 P's, right? The 2 P's, the number 3 and the number 4 P that you have to begin to look at for, even as we continue on this conversation. See you in my next video as we continue with the 5th P on how to practice optimism in your life. Have a lovely day. Do not forget to subscribe. Thank you for stopping by, and bye for now.